You are alone at home, and many beautiful women surround you. Now what are you going to do? Are you going to jump on them? You may do that, but for me, I would stay the hell away from them. Let's face the fact, guys. We only have one dick. We can't keep up with them, because they will squeeze the hell out of you. What the hell am I talking about? We're getting off track here. Let's get back to the video. Hey, today we are going to be counting down the top 10 old harem anime that is old, but gold.
早川さん、君は今自分が何をしているのか分かってるのか？
もちろんセクハラねえ。
そういうことは軽々しくやるべきことじゃない。将来を誓い合った男女ならともかく。
そう？私たち二宮君になら全部見られても構わないんだけどな。それに今日のはすごいよ。ひなこ泣いた。
At number 10, we have Good Luck, Ninomiya-kun. You want to watch anime with lots of leaves kiss? Then this anime is for you. But warning, you may get addicted to it. The story begins with Shungo Ninomiya, who lives in a big mansion. His sister happens to be a mercenary. When a military chopper shows up at Ninomiya's school, one day after he was being harassed by a female student, hell-bent on showing him her panties, his entire life changes. All of a sudden, a strange pink-haired girl is to start living with him. Her name is Tsukimaru Mayu, and she just happens to be a succubus who's deathly afraid of men. For some reason, Ninomiya isn't affected by her powers, which happens to be triggered when she's distressed. Of course, Ninomiya's training with his sister goes a long way when it comes to keeping googly-eyed men away from Mayu, and so it seems like the pair are a match made in heaven. This is one of those shows that you probably shouldn't like, but you do anyway. Even for an ecchi show, this is pretty over the top at times. It's full of swimsuits, bouncing boobs, and moe. If you like those themes, then you're probably going to love this. At number 9, we have Omamori Himari. Okay, without going into detail, let's keep it simple. Omamori Himari is the story of Yuto, descendant to a long line of demon slayers, and his kick-ass sexy feline guardian Himari, a cat girl, or you can say demon cat girl, a tsundere childhood friend, a loli, a maid waitress, and an ojo-sama-like fiancé. And you have the rest of Yuto's cliched harem, as they try to handle coexistence with yokai, or demons, and humans alike due to Yuto being casted as one of those sensitive new age guy who doesn't like violence, the type of nosebleeding harem male you love. It's a supernatural ecchi harem anime with action scenes and romance. Maybe more than that. It is like any other ecchi harem anime out there, but this shouldn't be a problem if you are into that. At number 8, we have D.C.S.S. Capo second season. This is a fairly interesting anime, which introduces many new characters and features a roller coaster of a plot sequence. The story was typical. Guys with girl. They both love each other. The other girls come in. In both seasons, there is one small midget girl who is a little bitchy and wants the male protagonist all to herself, causing the couple to break up, etc. D.C.S.S.'s storyline can be split into two halves. The first half of D.C.S.S. focuses on character building and linking the two seasons together. Pretty much filler episodes. The second half is pumped with drama. Well, I reckon the second half was awesome. Well, I can't say I like it or hate it, but it's an alright kind of story. I just want to say that this is actually a story which you can watch and forget. Number 7, we have Tokimeki Memorial. Some say that the story of Tokimeki Memorial, Only Love, was like eating a sweet chocolate-covered apple. Then it turns out the apple was fake while only the sweetness and chocolate were real. Really? I don't know what people mean by this, but one thing I know that this anime is really good. The anime mainline story revolves around a second-year high school student, Riku Aoba, who has just recently transferred to Holy Cross High School, where he notices upon joining several unique and funny occurrences, often being the target of a series of events and races administered by the students' council. To put it simply, it is a harem comedy anime, so the guy has to choose between a few beautiful girls. It is a high school set, so you move through the school season. While this may be in the harem category, it is not considered ecchi. Coming at number 6, we have Love Hina. Looking for anime to kill time? Look no more, because Love Hina will seriously kill your time. Love Hina tells the story of the promise made by two childhood lovers. Although they planned to grow up together, the girl had to move away. Before she left, however, they promised that one day they would meet each other again at Tokyo University. This is a harem-themed anime, so let's set the scene. 1 boy and 5 girls in all-girls dormitory. Add some romance, comedy, and a little bit of ecchi, and you have Love Hina. This is not the end, and it does not wrap up the series in a tight bow. The reason for this is a bonus 25th episode, as well as a Christmas and spring special. You have to watch these before watching Love Hina again, which is the 2nd season of this anime, to get the full story. If you are looking for all best harem and romance anime, it would be best for you. At number 5, we have Shuffle. 5 beautiful girls and 1 guy. The story of 6 lives, filled with jealousy and hope, as well as with hope and joy. The anime starts as usual with introduction of the female candidates from Rin's point of view. Rin is the narrator giving their opinion on the characters and development along the way. At the start there will be plenty of ecchi and school comedy like any other harem anime. But Shuffle is much more than that. Soon more girls are introduced, and a couple episodes later, the dark past start to be uncovered, and as we learn more about the girls, the show changes into a more dramatic development. Not everything is happy, and Rin, always being kind and helpful, tries to help everyone solve their problems and make them happy. Shuffle is definitely one of those animes that you can easily predict what will happen next, so it's very interesting to watch. I can only say, give it a try and you will love it. At number 4, we have Yori Aoshi. This anime is like your typical love story. Boy meets girl, they fall in love, but then 4 other girls do the same. What? Well, 1 boy, 5 girls. The story follows the life of the male lead, Kaoru, and his fiancée, Aoi. Early on in the show, we are also introduced to a lot of other female characters that will accompany the male lead in virtually every episode. The nature of the story is very episodic, and the plot progresses extremely slow. You really can't judge an anime based on the synopsis and reviews alone, because there will be an anime out there that everybody hates, but you actually will like. The story and characters of Yori Aoshi is pretty much a ripoff of Love Hina, only without the tsundere bitch and the wimpy main protagonist instantly making it 100 times better. If you like slow-paced romance animes where it focuses more on growing the relationship of the main couple, rather than throwing conflicts and drama left and right, then you might want to check this one out. Coming in at number 3, we have Drift Off to Blue Orchid Island. Imagine you are the only man in an island where there are lots of beautiful girls. What would you do with them? The purpose of this wacky romantic comedy is portraying every straight guy's fantasy. Ikuto is a teenage boy who happened to get stranded on an island paradise. But that's not the whole of it, as this strange island is inhabited with girls, all desperate for a man. The boy runs away from home, falls off a ship, and washes ashore on an island filled with females. It sounds like a guy's fantasy, but this anime is much more than that. There's a variety of characters on Orchid Island, including Ikuto, the only boy in the cast, a whole slew of girls, as expected of a harem, and something more or less new to harems, talking animals. It's fairly good, and I totally recommend it if you are not familiar with the genre. And if you are, it still has the potential to make you laugh.
この島には男がおらんのじゃ。お主以外にはな。つまり女の子だらけのこの島に男は僕一人。上から。冗談じゃない。こんなところにいたら命がいくつあっても足りないよ。
At our 2nd place, we have Saber Marionette J. You're the only human in a planet, and others are robots. How will you feel? Well, I can't tell anything about you, but if you're asking me, then I can show you what I'm gonna do with the robot girls. Alright, the story revolves around Otaro Mamiya, and there's 3 marionettes named Lime, Cherry, and Bloodberry. But they are not just any ordinary marionettes. They have a system called Maiden Circuit that act like the source of their emotion. That's why they can laugh and cry. A futuristic setting in a planet named Terra, the 2nd, in a country of Japanese, where there are no female and all male born from cloning. Females were replaced by female machines called marionettes. Let's begin their wacky adventure under one roof. The gags are old but still funny, especially when the punchline is Hanagata. The story is not always about humor. There is drama also. It's the main point of the story on how the 3 marionettes grow emotionally through happiness and hardship. The anime story is slow pacing but not boring, so you will have time to enjoy how it will develop. And now coming at number 1, we have Tenshi Muyo. we're on Geminar. This is unlike your typical sci-fi mecha harem anime. It actually features a rather varied compilation of action, slice of life, school, sci-fi, fantasy, military, and harem elements all in one series. The story itself is pretty generic and is about a boy who is summoned to a world not of his own, with only his wits, and an inexhaustible amount of physical power, to help him find his way back home to Japan. The story is basically split into 2 arcs. The first arc is set in an elite, practically all-girls school, where we meet all the main female characters and the female protagonists. The second arc is more serious in the tone, and is essentially a save-the-world arc with Kenshi, and those he had made his friends with, attempting to stop a catastrophe. I would recommend this anime to anyone who's looking for a good mecha series that manages to mix in a bit of fantasy in at the same time, or just anyone who wants to kill a day watching a fun anime. Some people will drop the show because it drags right in the middle of the series, but for those that stick it out, you will be happy when you finish this show. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. That concludes our top 10 list for today. Is there any old harem anime that we missed? Be sure to leave a comment down below. And also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until then, I'll catch you later. See you in the next one.